Hello, boys and girls. I'm so excited to be back with you again for another listening and learning. Today, we're very excited. We get to meet some of Dr. Wellbody's heroes. Who do you think might be a hero of Dr. Wellbody? You'll have to listen very closely and see. Well, real quick, boys and girls, let's do a little refresher. Take a look at your screen. You notice you see all sorts of systems on our screen. These are the different body systems that we've been talking about. Let's remind ourselves of which system's which. Which system is our nervous system? Well, if we remember, our nerves are all over our body. Our nerves send the messages real quick to our brain. So our brain is the big part of our nervous system that sends the messages to our nerves, which are all over our body. Which system is our muscular system? Point to your screen. I'm sure you all pointed right over here because our muscles are all over our body and which help us move. Our next system that we've talked about is our digestive system. Point to your screen if you can remember which one might be your digestive system. I'm sure you pointed right over here because this is the system that goes from our mouth to our stomach and processes all of that yummy food that we eat. And our last system is our circulatory system. We know that our circulatory system is all about the blood circulating through our heart and through our body. Great job helping us remember our different systems. Well, boys and girls, today when we get started talking to Dr. Wellbody, she's going to have some new words for us. These words are diseases, germs, immunities, pasteurization, and vaccines. Well, let's think. I bet you all remember a vaccine, but you probably don't remember that that's what it was called. Do you remember when we've had to get shots before? As much as we all do not like shots, those are something that we get to keep us healthy. They help to fight away diseases. And we're going to find out about some awesome people who helped keep us safe and healthy. So let's get ready to listen. Boys and girls, did you know that doctors have heroes? I'm going to tell you about my two heroes. Both are brave germ fighters. Their names are Edward Jenner and Louis Pasteur. Jenner was a doctor and Pasteur was a scientist, and both lived long ago. Their work made our world a safer place for all of us. Germs are all around us. These tiny living things are so small that you can see them only by looking through a special type of instrument called a microscope. And even though you can't see them, germs are everywhere. In the air that we breathe, in the water we drink, in the food we eat, and on our skin. Most of the time, germs, they don't hurt us. Some germs even kind of help us, like the ones that are in our intestines that kill off harmful germs and help us digest our food. But other germs can make us sick. They get in our bodies in different ways. Some creep through an insect bite or cut on your skin. Others float in when someone sneezes nearby. Still others come from food that maybe is poorly cleaned or undercooked. We do have natural immunities in our body. What that means is our bodies have ways to fight off germs on their own, but sometimes it's just not enough. That is why doctors and scientists are always working to find new ways to fight sicknesses, also might be called a disease. One very important way that they fight diseases is by giving people medicine called a vaccine. Vaccine gives you an immunity. What that means is they keep bad germs from harming you in the first place before you get sick. Doctors give vaccines by vaccinating people. That usually means giving children or a grown-up a shot. Many people don't like getting shots because the needle stings a bit. Sometimes we might cry. I don't like shots. But these vaccines give us immunity and protect us from terrible, harmful diseases like measles and mumps and flu and smallpox and polio. And these diseases can make people very sick and even cause them to die. So, is it okay to get that tiny owie shot? You bet. Boys and girls, long ago, people didn't know about germs. They did not understand what made people sick. They did not know how important it was to wash your hands, to eat clean food, and to drink clean water. They did not know how to protect themselves from getting bad germs in their body. Sometimes thousands of people would get sick from a disease as germs would spread quickly from one person to another. But then, about 200 years ago, an English doctor discovered something amazing. He discovered a way to keep people from getting one of the most terrible diseases in the world, a disease called smallpox. Edward Jenner, one of my heroes, invented the first vaccine. Edward Jenner was living in a country village in England. There were many farms all around, just like the one on our picture. He knew what the farmers in his village knew. People who milked cows sometimes got a disease called cowpox. The disease made blisters on their hands, but it wasn't that serious, just uncomfortable. People got over it quickly. Dr. Jenner also noticed that people who got cowpox almost never got a disease called smallpox, a much worse disease that often killed people or left horrible scars on their skin. He thought that cowpox might protect people from getting smallpox. So, after thinking and studying, Dr. Jenner decided to test his idea. He decided to give a healthy little boy a small amount of the cowpox germs. The little boy did get sick with cowpox, just as Dr. Jenner thought he would, but he just had a few pocks on his hand, and then the little boy got better. And so Dr. Jenner experimented or found out that then, when he gave him a small amount of the smallpox, he did not get sick. Dr. Edward Jenner was a brave germ fighter and created this first vaccine in the whole world. From then on, people were vaccinated with cowpox so that they would have an immunity to smallpox. Many years later, because the smallpox vaccine was being used all around the world, the disease has disappeared. But Dr. Jenner did not understand exactly how the vaccination had worked. It was up to other doctors and scientists to find out. Another germ fighter and another one of my heroes is Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur was born in France a year after Dr. Jenner died. As a boy, he worked very hard in school and was very curious and always asking questions. And when he grew up, he became a science professor, teaching at a university. He also was a medical researcher and someone who tries to find out what causes diseases and how to cure them and make people better. Using a microscope, Pasteur saw that liquids like milk and fruit juice contain tiny living things called germs. Some of these germs cause the milk or juice to spoil or to go bad. Pasteur discovered that he could kill the harmful germs by heating the liquid to a high temperature. Heating liquids this way to get rid of the germs became known as pasteurization. Today, because of Pasteur's discovery, the milk we drink, as well as some other foods, are pasteurized to make them safe before we buy them. Just as important, Pasteur's work on pasteurization convinced other doctors and scientists that germs were real and could cause disease. People began to realize how important it is to keep harmful germs out of our food and water. Boys and girls, if you ever get a chance to go to the apple orchard, they make their own apple cider. And they talk about this as well, that they have to pasteurize their apple cider. So before it gets to you, they have a special machine that gets it really hot to get out any germs. Then they put it in their jugs and cool it down, and it's ready for us. Fun fact. But Pasteur did not stop there. He continued Jenner's work with vaccines, working to discover how to prevent many more diseases. One vaccine he developed was fighting against rabies, a very dangerous disease that often kills humans. Pasteur had been working on the rabies vaccine for quite a while when a 9-year-old boy had been badly bitten by a dog. The dog was carrying rabies, and Dr. Pasteur thought that his new vaccine would help the boy. Well, lucky for him, his vaccine had worked and he was hailed a hero. He led the way for other scientists to make vaccines for many other diseases. Today, once you're vaccinated against a disease, you become immune to it and no longer have to be afraid of catching it. Now, there's still some diseases for which scientists haven't found the right vaccine for. But the awesome thing about scientists is that they are always working hard to try to find a way to find the vaccines. New vaccines will be discovered by other germ fighters. If you study medicine or science, maybe you could become a researcher, and that germ fighter could be you. Well, boys and girls, I would love to end today with a rhyme. So if you are a scientist, you'll discover something new. So you could be a germ fighter who is a hero too. Have a great day.